Hi there and welcome back to Daisy Lane Design. I'm Allison and this is a tiny tutorial on box pleats. Box pleats are just another design element that can be used in bag making, where just like regular pleating where you're gathering up and laying the fabric, instead of all the fabric laying in one direction, the pleats all laying in one direction, one part of the pleat faces to the right and one part of the pleat faces to the left, thus making a little join in the center. So I'm going to show you what that looks like on some examples and then we'll get into it. Unlike the ruffles we talked about last time, which are scrunched and gathered and have a more free-form feel, box pleats are more measured and planned. They can be used to add fullness to an apron or skirt and to add interest to a clutch or other bag, and they are featured in my upcoming tote. Here I have prepared for you the piece of fabric I'll be using for the box pleats, and I've marked the center of my box pleat, both with an ironed mark, and then I'm also going to just pin it right here. That will be the black pin in our box pleat. And I'm using my cutting board. The boxes are 1 inch apart. If you have a cutting mat, you can use that to measure your inch. If you don't, you can always use a tape measure or any sort of ruler that will just give you 1 inch. So I'm marking one spot 1 inch to the right of our center and one spot to the left of our center. And those are going to be the 2 spots where we make our box pleats. First step is to take the fabric, and at the first pin, the pin on the right, you're going to fold it so that the pin is on the fold and you've lined up the top raw edge with the wrong sides facing, just so that the pin comes to the edge there. And then you're going to take that pin, the green one there on the right, and fold it in to the center black pin. And hold all those layers together. But once you have it secure, you'll pin those in place, but you're going to scooch the back fabric out of the way. And I caught some of that back fabric, so I'm just releasing it and reinserting my pin, and I'll show you what that looks like from the back. So you have like a little, just a gather, just a fold. There's a fold on the back, there's a fold on the front, and the rest of the fabric hangs loose. Then we'll repeat that on the other side. So fold the fabric right sides together, bringing the red pin to the fold and matching up the raw edges. Bring the right pin into the center where all the pins are gathered now. Hold that in place, scooch the rest of the fabric out of the way, and then you can remove your red pin and repin it through all the layers. At this point, you can take out that black center pin. So you can see where all my fabric is gathered up and it's ready to go to the sewing machine. Keeping my pins in place and holding the pleat closed, I ran some basting stitches across the whole pleat at about 1/4 inch down from the raw edge. Then I'm able to remove my pins and flip it over to take a look at the back. As long as those folded edges are nice and neat and not turned to the wrong side, then your box pleat is good to go. That's all it takes. Here's the front look with the stitches in place, and it's ready to be added to a bag. So that's it. That's how you make box pleats. What do you think? More difficult, less difficult than you were anticipating? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Are you ready to give it a try? Because I have 2 patterns that are available, one for free on my blog. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's the High Waisted Half Apron, and I'll link that below. The second is a paid pattern, and it's the crinkle clutch, those are the 2 things that were featured in the intro. And I'm going to include a little coupon for you guys there in the comments below as well. That's available in my Etsy shop. It'll all be linked in the description below. But I'd love to hear if you try either or both of those patterns out, and let me know what you think of using box pleats to add to your projects. The ones that I just showed you, the bag that's coming out soon, will have 6 box pleats in total across that 3rd tier up in the bag. And as I've mentioned before, there is a contest to name the bag. So again, I will link to where you can put your entry for the bag naming contest, and who knows, you might win a little prize for it. Thank you for being here today. If you appreciate and like like what you've seen here so far, I would love it if you would leave a comment, subscribe, like, recommend to a friend, and ultimately, if you are able to and want to, you can also leave me a little tip in my Ko-Fi jar. I do appreciate that. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and until the next time, happy sewing. Take care.